Hello YouTube. The main reason I'm starting this channel up is for gaming and future gaming and creating content, whether it be channel art, backgrounds, animations, all that kind of stuff. So in this tutorial, we are going to basically create our channel art. And this is a freshly made channel. This is my main channel that I'm gonna start on, and hopefully build up on it. Okay, so let's get started. We are currently on my home channel, so I have no art, no nothing. So we're gonna go to Google, and we're gonna basically Google gaming. You can Google whatever to find whatever images you want for your arts, for your channel art. And I chose gaming, but as you can see, there's a bunch of custom made pictures. So I'm gonna type in gaming controller, and we're gonna have a bunch of these controllers pop up. I'm gonna use 3 images, an Xbox controller for number 1. And you also want to make sure that the image size is correct. That's about 1000 pixels or bigger. So I've got 2 pictures, and now I got my last picture. After this, we're now in Photoshop. So after going to Photoshop, the first thing you want to do is use the magic wand tool on the background of the white Xbox controller, and basically just delete it or erase it, so you just have the Xbox controller on one layer. After that, select the controller, just as I'm doing here. Okay, so after this, we're gonna go to Blender options, or you can double click on the image. So we're gonna do all those options. You can add an outer glow if you want to the controller, which makes it better. Of course, on this image, I didn't do quite well, so bringing out that outer glow all the way doesn't really work on it. So yeah. Okay, once you're done, you can press OK, and all the options will work out. Anyways, after that, you want to go to, you can disable your background by clicking on the eye. You're going to click your selection tool and drag the controller over to the other page on Photoshop on your main background. And the background I'm using is 1600 by 900, which will be changed later. Anyways, the first thing you want to do is change the background to black, so you can notice any areas that you missed while using the magic wand tool and erasing. So make sure you're clicking on the controller layer and basically clear all of the little stuff that you see except the controller, or any mistakes you might have done. If you make a mistake, you can press Ctrl Z, I believe, like I did earlier. So here I'm making sure there's nothing left. Okay, now after you've got your control in your back, you want to make sure to save. In this point, I just save it as, you don't really need, just know what you're saving it as. So after saving it, in case your Photoshop crashes or anything, you're going to open the next picture up, and for this one it's going to be quite different since there's shadows and the light of the PS4 controller there. So the first thing that you'll need to do is unlock the layer by double clicking on it, and you just press OK and everything's fine. After that, make sure you can get as close as possible to the shadow of the controller, or to the shadow of whatever image you're using at this point. So, as you see here, I'm just cleaning it up, but it's not finished because after cleaning it up, you're gonna see it a bit. It's gonna be jagged because the magic wand tool isn't perfect. So you're going to deselect by going to select, and to selector you can push Ctrl D. So after that you have your controller, you can move it over to the main background or wallpaper page. So right now we're not worried about the image sizes right now, so click on the eye, disable the controller, the big one. And now you can zoom in with the view, zoom in, or you can do Control Plus. As you can see, there's a bit jagged edges there. Get your eraser tool, put the hardness to 0, make sure it's big enough, and just start erasing from the very far away. Make sure you're on the controller layer, and as you can see, those fuzzy edges are starting to come off, and it's getting a bit cleaner. So try and do the best you can. If you see any fuzziness anywhere where you use the magic wand tool, just use the eraser tool with 0 hardness to smooth out the picture. And make sure that you get any areas where there's white or where there's no shadows. As you can see, I'm trying to fix it up a bit. Trying to make it look as neat as possible. It's not going to be perfectly neat for the sake of this tutorial. And for now, I'm going to keep this as my background, and I'll later change it and make my own. Not that I didn't make this, but you know what I'm saying. I'm going to make a different one that suits me better. So, making sure to clean the edges. And after this, they're one step closer to finishing your channel art. So after that, you want to go to File, make sure you save your PSD. Then you're just going to go to the Blender options and go to Bravo and Emboss, and basically do all your things that you want on it. As you can see here, the Bravo and Emboss basically probably share the same amounts on the images, on all the images on this. So make sure all the images are balanced out well. And here I'm going to add an outer glow as well. Now edit the size to whatever you want. Just make sure it doesn't get all fuzzy and messy, because you will have to go back and fix it. So here I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to get my eraser with 0 hardness and try to clean it a bit so it doesn't look so rough. And that should be it for now. So go to File, Save. You always want to save when you're done doing whatever. We don't need any of these other images anymore. So we close those out. And now we can activate our other layer and see how it compares to the other images. So you can have both of those. Go to File, Open. Now we're going to open our final file, which should be much more simple since it looks flat and it's a white background. So use the magic wand tool, select the whites, and basically erase. Make sure you have the background unlocked. To unlock the background, you have to double click on the layer and click OK. After you're done, drag it over, put in your new image, and from here you can basically double click or right click on your layer and go to blending options and just edit the image however you want. Here I'm going to change the glow to green because you don't want it all to be the same. So we've got a pretty green out glow. So after that, we got all three images. On this other controller, I'm going to change the color to make it different so they're not all the same color, because that just makes it a little boring. So we're changing the color on one of them. So after this, here I'm looking for the tool Transform. Since I haven't used Photoshop, I really not familiar with these things anymore, but I usually use those shortcuts. You can either go to Edit, Transform, and when you're resizing an image or rescaling it, you want to make sure you hold Shift as you click and drag the image to whatever size you want. If not, it will not be proportional. So, resizing the image. You could also resize the image with Control T. And you either have to press Enter or the check button at the top where I just clicked now. And you see there I made a mistake, so I decided not to rescale the image. And on this one, I'm rescaling the PS4 controller to make it a little bigger. And I'm trying to place it somewhere where it looks okay. So if you want, you can just do other options, get different pictures, and just play around with it yourself. If it looks nice, then go ahead and use it. Okay, so we resized the other controller, the one with the green glow, making it look decently nice. Now on this other big controller, we're changing the opacity down to make it look like it's faded or in the background. As you see there, I let go of Shift, so it sort of got messed up on proportion. Since it's a background image with low opacity, it really won't matter at this point because the other two controllers are going to be covering it up. So yeah. Okay, so we're resizing the red controller. So to make it a bit bigger to fit in the middle, since the big Xbox controller is going to be the background. So after that, we're going to make sure both controllers are proportional, because the Xbox controller is going to be in the background. Okay, so after that, save. We don't need the other image. So here I'm going to save it again as a PSD. You don't need to save it as a PSD, but I'm just going to save it as a PSD. And then I'm going to go back, and if you get this message, it's because you're currently saving. Anyways, you're going to go save as again. This time I'm going to delete the other one, because they're both the same. So then you're gonna hit the drop arrow and save it as a JPEG. Name it whatever you want. After that, you just hit save and you're done. Oh yeah, here you have to pick what quality you want the image at. Max quality will give you the most HD image possible, or high quality image possible. Okay, so now here you're gonna go to File, Open, and you're gonna open your JPEG file. Since you need to adjust the image size, so go to, it's either Edit or Image, and change image size. I'm gonna change it to 2100 to 1200. Since the minimum for YouTube is like 2048 by 1140 or something. So after that, resize the image, and as you can see here, it doesn't come out too well because the height isn't really proportional to the width. So here you can either go to Edit, Undo, or click Control Z. Try it again. This time we're going to use 21-1200. The last time we used 21-1600, I believe. It was my mistake. Anyways, after this, you basically have an image that looks somewhat proportional or to your liking, whatever you like. So just go to File, Save, go back to your channel, select your image, and I'm going to select my channel art JPEG. So just let it upload now. Okay, so here we'd have everything all up. And look, you can look at the previews here. I'm going to edit the cropping so I can get it somewhat nice, or balanced image that shows somewhat of the controller and makes it look nice and cool. So I'm going to pull the corners as much as possible to room to move it around. We're going to use that rectangle, that darker rectangle in the middle for our channel art. So once you get in the position that you like it, just click OK or save, and basically this will come up with a preview and you can just check it all. And basically that's the channel art now. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.